I stepped into the party hall, heart pounding, eyes scanning for Lara. "Hey, you made it," she said with that smile that used to make me melt. I grinned back, thinking tonight would be fun. "You look amazing," I whispered. "Thanks. You too." "I guess," she said, eyes flicking past me to the group by the bar. I felt a little sting but ignored it. Moments later, we mingled near the drinks table. Suddenly, Lara leaned close and said loud enough for half the room to hear, "Honestly, I don't know how I've put up with him for 2 years. He's so insecure." I froze. The laughter that followed felt like knives slicing through me. "Lara?" I started, but she waved it off, smiling sweetly at everyone. "I'm just being honest. Don't take it personally." I couldn't breathe. My face burned and my pride crumbled. You can't say that," I said, voice shaking. "Oh, I can. And I will," she laughed, then added, "Remember last month when he couldn't even speak up in that meeting? Classic." The room erupted in laughter. I clenched my fists, trying to control myself. I wanted to shout, defend myself, tell them she was exaggerating, but something inside stopped me. Instead, I walked away, heart pounding, fingers trembling. I felt a hand on my shoulder. "Hey, breathe. Don't do anything stupid," Armin said, pulling me to a quieter corner. I saw that. She went too far. "She humiliated me, in front of everyone," I muttered, my voice barely steady. 2 years, gone in one stupid sentence. Armin nodded, frowning. "I know, man. But losing your temper now won't fix it. Trust me." "Trust you?" I laughed bitterly. I trusted her. I told her everything, my dreams, my fears. And she used them like weapons. "I get it," Armin said quietly. "But listen, think, not act. You don't want to stoop to her level." I don't even know who she is anymore," I admitted, swallowing hard. The hurt was thick, almost suffocating. "She's showing her true colors," Armin said. "And you? You're better than this. Just let it sink in first. Plan your next move. Don't let anger blind you." I nodded, but the betrayal burned. The laughter, the mockery, every word replayed in my mind. "Do people even know how cruel someone can be?" I whispered. "They're about to find out," Armin said, a slight smirk forming. "And so will she, in time." I looked back at the crowd. Lara was laughing, effortless, beautiful. I hated her for it, and something else stirred inside me, a cold, simmering thought. Revenge. Karma. Justice. I swallowed, trying to steady my breath. "One day," I muttered under my breath, "she's going to regret this." Armin patted my shoulder again. "Good. Use that fire. But don't burn yourself in the process." I turned, watching her from afar. My heart hurt, yes, but somewhere deep down I felt the first spark of control returning. Tonight I had been humiliated. But I wasn't finished yet. And I promised myself, she wouldn't get away with this. Not for long. I woke up the next morning with a tight knot in my chest. The laughter, her words, everything, they replayed on loop. I tried shaking it off, but the memory burned through me. "Nina?" I asked, entering the office. She looked up from her desk, concerned. "You look like hell," she said bluntly. Yeah, I'm fine," I muttered, though my voice trembled. "Fine? Really?" she asked, standing and walking over. "You've been avoiding everyone since yesterday." I need space," I said, rubbing my temples. "She humiliated me. Everyone saw it." Nina's eyes softened. "I saw. That was cruel. But trust me, it's not the end of you." I laughed bitterly. "Not the end? I've lost all dignity in front of my coworkers. 2 years, gone in one night." "You're letting her control you," she said quietly. "You need to step back. Think. What do you want to do?" "I don't know," I admitted, sinking into a chair. Part of me wants to confront her. Part of me wants to disappear. And part of me, I swallowed hard, I want revenge. "Revenge is tempting," she said, leaning on my desk. "But it'll consume you if you let it. You have to decide what really matters." I stared at her. "And what about trust?" She used everything I gave her, my fears, my weaknesses. "I know," Nina said softly. "But not everyone will betray you like that. You have to protect yourself, but also think clearly." "I feel so stupid," I said, voice low. I ignored the warnings, trusted her blindly. And now, my hands shook. I don't even recognize her anymore. Or myself. "You're not stupid," she insisted. "You were in love. That's all." I exhaled, trying to calm the storm inside me. "Love shouldn't hurt this much," I muttered. "Sometimes it does," she replied. "But heartbreak can teach you more than comfort ever will." I looked down, thinking about every little sign I had ignored, her teasing about my insecurities, her subtle manipulations. "I can't let this break me completely," I whispered. "You won't," Nina said firmly. "You're stronger than this. But it's okay to feel pain. You can't move forward without facing it first." "I want to, but I keep questioning everything," I admitted. "Do I forgive her? Confront her? Or just let it go and act smarter next time?" "None of that is easy," Nina said. "But you're already thinking strategically, which is good. Let the anger guide you, not blind you." Her words sank in. I thought about my life, my career, and the man I wanted to be. "Maybe I've been too passive," I muttered. "Maybe it's time to take control instead of letting her or anyone else dictate my emotions." "Exactly," she said. "You can't change what happened, but you can decide what happens next." I leaned back, heart heavy but slowly clearing. "Thanks, Nina. I needed someone to tell me, it's not over yet. I just have to survive this, and grow stronger." She smiled. "That's all. Survive first. Then everything else falls into place." I watched her walk away, thinking about my next steps. The betrayal still stung, but the fire inside me was awakening. She might have broken me yesterday, but today, I would start putting the pieces back together. I met Armin at our usual cafe, feeling the weight of yesterday still heavy on my shoulders. "You look calmer," he said, sliding into the seat across from me. "Or are you hiding it better?" "I'm thinking," I replied, staring at my coffee. "About what comes next." "Revenge?" he asked with a smirk. "Not exactly," I said. "I don't want to act out of anger. I want her to notice me without me doing anything stupid." Armin raised an eyebrow. "So, subtle humiliation instead of shouting matches?" "Exactly," I said, leaning forward. "I want to rebuild myself first. Make her realize she lost someone she can't replace." He laughed. "That's very calculated. I like it." Later that week, I met Sophia, a mentor Armin had suggested. "You want to succeed?" she asked, hands folded, piercing gaze. "Then stop focusing on others. Focus on what you can control." I've been distracted," I admitted. "Someone I trusted betrayed me." "Pain teaches strategy," she said softly. "Take your energy, channel it. Build yourself until the world can't ignore you." Her words hit me harder than any confrontation ever could. I realized my plan didn't have to be about her at all, it was about me. I started observing Lara quietly, from meetings, casual parties, even social media. Her smile was still effortless, but cracks were appearing, arguments with friends, subtle frustrations. She was still proud, but no one else noticed her slipping just yet. "Look at her," I said one evening to Armin, showing a post. "She acts perfect, but I see the flaws. And I'll use them, not by hurting her, but by growing beyond her reach." "That's cold," Armin said, shaking his head, "but brilliant. Patience will make it more satisfying." I nodded, sipping my coffee. "I won't confront her directly. I'll be better, stronger. Someone she regrets underestimating." Armin leaned back. "And what about your feelings? You still care?" "Of course I do," I admitted. "But caring doesn't mean weakness. It's fuel. And she'll notice the change, eventually." Sophia's advice rang in my mind again. Control yourself, control your environment, build power quietly. I began drafting plans, career moves, new skills, connections that would make me indispensable, respected, unignorable. I kept my interactions with Lara casual but distant. Each time she tried to get attention, I remained calm, composed. My silence became a shield and a statement. "Patience," I whispered to myself one night. "Patience and growth. That's how I win." I realized revenge didn't have to be instant or messy. It could be invisible, but inevitable. Lara would see the man I was becoming, and she would feel the weight of what she threw away. Armin clapped me on the shoulder. "You're planning carefully. I like the new you." "Not new," I corrected. "The real me. The one she never respected. Yet." I watched her from a distance later that evening, laughing with friends, pride still high, oblivious to the storm forming quietly behind me. And I smiled. Not in triumph yet, but soon. Very soon. I saw it happen first thing Monday morning. Lara rushed into the meeting, confident as ever. "You're late," Marcus sneered, smirking. She started, but I caught the hesitation in her voice. "Cut it. You've got the presentation, right?" he pressed. I stayed quiet, sitting in the back. I didn't need to say anything. Her careless mistake in the report I had subtly pointed out earlier was about to surface. As she presented, her numbers didn't add up. Questions came fast. Lara, these projections, are you sure? Elena's tone was sharp, almost gleeful. Yes. Lara stammered, face flushing. Check again, Marcus said, leaning back. Something's off. I felt a flicker of satisfaction mixed with guilt. She didn't deserve humiliation, or did she? After the meeting, I saw her cornered by Elena. You messed up big time, Elena whispered, eyes cold. Don't think I won't mention this. I don't know what happened, Lara muttered, voice trembling. I passed by and she looked at me. You knew. Maybe, I said lightly, keeping my tone neutral. I wanted her to wonder, feel the ripple of uncertainty. Later, Nina found me in the break room. You did that, didn't you? She asked, a faint smile on her lips. I didn't do anything directly, I replied, swirling my coffee. But I set the stage. She needs to see consequences. You're walking a fine line, Nina said softly. Can you really care for someone and watch them fall? I don't know, I admitted. Part of me wants to scream at her. Part of me still feels something. You're human, Nina said. And smart. Don't let guilt stop you, but don't lose yourself either. I nodded. Her words steadied me, reminded me there was more to life than revenge. Later that evening, I watched Lara leaving the office. Her confident stride was gone, replaced by uncertainty. I felt the strange mix again, satisfaction, guilt, and lingering affection. She's human, I whispered to myself. And so am I. But I need to be better, stronger. For me. Nina's voice replayed in my mind, don't lose yourself. I realized revenge could be quiet, controlled, like a shadow behind me, present, inevitable, but not reckless. I thought about the next steps. Lara's pride would bruise, her arrogance falter, and I'd continue growing in ways she couldn't ignore. But could I ever open my heart again while walking this path? The thought lingered as I packed my things. I had a taste of karma, subtle but satisfying. And I knew this was only the beginning. I was walking to my car when I saw the scene. Lara standing frozen outside the cafe, phone in hand, face pale. What happened? I asked, approaching cautiously. She didn't answer at first. Then she whispered, It's David. He lied about the deal. Everything's ruined. My heart clenched. Part of me wanted to walk away, let her suffer. Part of me, I didn't know. I glanced around. No one was paying attention. Do you need help? I asked quietly. She shook her head, trembling. I don't know who to trust anymore. I hesitated. Maybe I can help. I have some contacts, resources. You want me to call someone? Her eyes widened. You what? After everything? I looked away, hiding the swirl of emotions inside me. Just consider it. No names. I don't need credit. She nodded reluctantly. I'll think about it. Later, I sent a few anonymous emails, made calls, and quietly guided the situation. By evening, the crisis was contained. She didn't know who had helped her, but she felt relief. I met Armin afterward. You helped her? He asked, eyebrows raised. Yeah, I said, shrugging. Anonymous. I don't want her thinking I'm trying to win her back. Not yet. Armin laughed. That's surprisingly generous. You're not exactly the forgiving type. I'm not, I admitted. But I realized revenge doesn't always have to be direct. Sometimes, letting someone see what they lost later is more powerful. Sophia called that night. I heard about your project results. Impressive work. You're showing focus and initiative. Thanks, I said, feeling a surge of confidence. Her praise meant more than I expected. I've been redirecting energy, focusing on growth. Good. Keep it up. People notice those who move quietly but strategically. I hung up, realizing she was right. Lara had been distracted by her own pride. I was building myself, silently, with purpose. The next morning, I saw her at the office, trying to regain composure after her setback. I watched her, noting the cracks in her armor. Part of me still felt anger, she had humiliated me, but another part felt unresolved care. Nina appeared beside me. You helped her? She asked, raising an eyebrow. I did. Quietly, I admitted. It's complicated. I want her to understand consequences, but not at the cost of my own growth. She smiled softly. That's maturity. That's strength. You're changing, and she'll notice it sooner or later. I nodded, letting the thought sink in. For the first time since the public humiliation, I felt in control again. My confidence was returning, subtly but undeniably. I watched Lara leave the office later, still proud, still beautiful, but fragile. And I thought maybe this was the turning point, Not just for her but for me. I whispered under my breath, I'm done being the weak one. The next time she sees me it won't be the same. And for the first time I believed it. I bumped into Lara in the hallway and she jumped slightly. Oh, hi, she said, forcing a casual tone. Hey, I replied evenly, keeping my distance. Long day. A bit, she said, tucking a strand of hair behind her ear. You seem different. Calm, confident. I raised an eyebrow. Really? I just got used to surviving around people like you. She smiled faintly, a mixture of amusement and something else, hesitation, maybe admiration. You always know what to say. I try, I said lightly. So, how's the big project going? She hesitated, then muttered, It's okay. Some surprises. Careful, I said, voice neutral. Not everyone's as forgiving as they look. Her eyes flickered, betraying a flash of discomfort. I know. Later that week, I ran into her at a networking event. Fancy seeing you here, she said, adjusting her dress. Funny coincidence, I replied, scanning the room. She laughed softly, leaning closer. You're different. I can't put my finger on it. I smirked. Maybe you're finally noticing me for real. She glanced away, face slightly red. Maybe, or maybe I just realized I underestimated you. Before I could answer, Daniel appeared beside me. Mind if I join? He asked. I heard we're discussing strategy and survival tips. I laughed. Sure, you're welcome. Daniel shook my hand firmly. I hear you've been handling yourself impressively. Thanks, I said. I'm learning to control what I can and ignore what I can't. Smart, he said. And it works. You look composed, untouchable even. People notice that. I glanced at Lara, who was watching from across the room. I felt a strange satisfaction. My calm, composed exterior had caught her attention without me trying. You've got a good circle, Daniel continued. Friends, mentors, people who reinforce who you are. That's powerful. I nodded. It's taken time, but I'm learning. I'm not who I used to be. Lara moved closer again, feigning interest in Daniel's stories, but sneaking glances at me. You've changed, she said softly when she thought I wasn't listening. I kept my face neutral, letting her wonder. Maybe I just finally stopped letting others define me, I replied quietly, almost to myself. Yeah, maybe, she whispered. The night ended and I walked home with Daniel. You're handling this beautifully, he said. Don't let her charm or past mistakes distract you. I know, I said. Patience, that's the key. And as I thought about Lara watching from across the room, pride fading slightly, I realized the plan was working. She was noticing slowly that I had changed, and I wasn't rushing it. Somewhere deep down, a small smile formed. Revenge didn't need to be loud or obvious. It was subtle, quiet, and already in motion. Lara would see soon enough, and she'd have no idea how it had started. I found her alone in the office lounge, staring at her coffee like it held the answers to her problems. Lara, I said softly, approaching. She looked up, startled. Oh, hi, she whispered, voice shaky. I didn't expect anyone here. Alone? I asked, sitting opposite her. Everything okay? She hesitated, biting her lip. I've been thinking. About us. About everything that happened. I remained calm, keeping my expression neutral. Go on. Her eyes glistened. I realize I hurt you. More than I thought I could. I still care. I know that sounds ridiculous after everything, but I do. I felt a tight knot in my chest, memories flooding back. The public humiliation, the whispered mockery, the betrayal. I swallowed hard. Lara, that was a long time ago. And it changed everything. I know, she said quickly. I was cruel. I was selfish. I didn't realize how much it would hurt you, and I regret it every day. I've been angry, I admitted, voice low. I still am sometimes. But I've also learned patience, strength, self-respect. She nodded, tears brimming. I see that. And I can't help noticing you're different. You're better. Stronger. I glanced at her, conflicted. And yet you want what? Forgiveness? Another chance? I don't know, she admitted. I just know that I miss what we had. And maybe I'm seeing the truth now. About you. About us. I leaned back, heart racing. You realize you can't manipulate me the way you used to, right? She nodded, biting her lip. I know. And I hate that it took me so long to see it. I wish I could take back the things I did. I don't know if that's possible, I said quietly. But I do know this, I've changed. I'm not the same man who trusted blindly, who let pride and love blind me. She looked at me with a mix of hope and fear. Does that mean you could forgive me? I don't know, I admitted, voice trembling slightly. Forgiveness isn't easy, and trust takes time. You've hurt me deeply, but I can see that you've changed. Her hand trembled as she reached for mine, stopping short. I understand. I just had to tell you how I feel, even if it's too late. I stared at her, 1,000 thoughts swirling. Could I let go of the past completely? Could I allow myself to feel again without letting anger or caution dictate everything? I hear you, I said finally, and I appreciate your honesty, but don't expect anything yet. I need to process all of this, and so do you. She nodded silently, tears falling now. I can wait, she whispered. And as I watched her, I realized something important. She had changed, yes, but so had I. The old games were over, and whatever came next would be on my terms. I found Lara waiting near the office terrace, looking nervous. We need to talk, I said, keeping my voice steady. She looked up, startled. Okay, I'm listening. Listen, I began, what you did, publicly, privately, it hurt me. You humiliated me in front of everyone. Do you even realize the damage you caused? Her eyes filled with guilt. I know. I was cruel. I didn't think about how it would affect you. I wanted attention, validation. I was selfish, and I'm sorry. I clenched my fists but forced myself to stay calm. Sorry doesn't erase it. 2 years of trust, thrown away in moments of laughter at my expense. Do you understand that? I do, she said, voice trembling. Every day since I've regretted it. I see what I did, and I hate that I hurt you. I exhaled sharply. I've been angry. I felt betrayed. But seeing you now, I also feel something else. I won't lie, I still care. But I've changed too. I won't be the same man who let you manipulate me. She bit her lip. I know. I didn't realize how much I underestimated you. I can't change the past, but I want you to know I'm honest now. Completely. I looked at her, heart racing. Honest now. But can you face the consequences? You broke me. Not physically, but emotionally. People don't get a free pass for that. I understand, she whispered. I deserve whatever fallout comes my way. And I'm ready to accept it. I glanced toward Armin, Nina, and even Marcus. They had watched us from a distance, seeing the confrontation unfold. Their presence reminded me I wasn't alone. I've thought about revenge, I admitted, voice low. About letting you feel the same pain you caused me. But I realized, the real power isn't in hurting someone else. It's in reclaiming yourself. Lara's eyes softened, tears brimming. I see that now. I'm proud of you even if I caused all the pain that led here. You should be ashamed too, I said gently. Shame and acknowledgement are important. But I can't live in anger forever. I've rebuilt myself, quietly, patiently, and you can't undo that. She nodded, taking a shaky breath. I get it. I really do. I just wanted to face you, tell you everything. No games. No manipulation. I felt a weight lift off my chest. Anger, sadness, lingering affection, all intertwined. Good. Face the truth. Own it. That's all I ask. I will, she said, voice small. And thank you. For staying strong, for not letting the past define you completely. I nodded once, firm. I've learned something crucial. People can hurt you, but your strength, your choices, they define you more than anyone's betrayal ever could. She looked at me with remorse and admiration. You've changed me too. I won't forget this lesson. I stepped back, letting the silence stretch. This isn't about forgetting. It's about moving forward. For both of us. And as I walked away, I felt it, the catharsis, the release. She had to face her own karma, I had reclaimed my power, and finally, the past didn't have control over me anymore. I sat alone in my apartment, the evening light casting shadows across the room. My phone buzzed, it was Lara. I stared at it, debating whether to answer. You're overthinking, I muttered to myself. This is about choice, not impulse. Finally, I answered. Hello. Hey, she whispered. Can we talk? Talk. I repeated. We've already talked. What's different now? I just want to explain how sorry I am. For everything. For hurting you, for being selfish. I leaned back, closing my eyes. You said that. But it's more than words. Actions matter. I know, she admitted. And I'm trying. I can't change the past, but I can prove I've learned. I took a deep breath. I've spent months rebuilding myself. Focusing on what I deserve, on who I am. and I can't let love cloud my judgment, not again. I understand, she said softly. I hope you can forgive me, even if you can't take me back. Forgiveness isn't easy, I said, voice low, and trust takes time. But I need to ask myself, do I want to accept someone who broke me, or walk away and protect my peace? There was silence on the line. Then she said, I don't want to lose you again, but I also can't force you. I felt my heart tighten. And you shouldn't. This isn't about forcing or pleading. It's about respect, yours, mine, and what we deserve. I see that, she whispered. I just hope, somehow, you can find it in yourself to be happy. I will, I said finally. With or without you. That's the difference. I've learned to value myself more than I let anyone else dictate my worth. She hesitated. Does that mean? It means I choose me first, I said firmly. Not anger, not pride, not revenge. Me. There was a long pause, then she sighed. I guess that's fair. You've earned it. I could hear a hint of relief mixed with lingering sadness. And you? You need to live with your choices too. Destiny has a way of teaching lessons. Sometimes subtly, sometimes painfully. I know, she said softly. I felt the consequences. Not dramatic but real. And I see now that I underestimated what I had, and what I lost. I hope you learn from it, I said, because I've learned from you. About patience, strength, and valuing myself. That's my redemption, my growth. Then, I can't ask for more, she whispered. I ended the call and sat in silence. My heart was heavy, yet lighter somehow. I hadn't taken her back, but I hadn't let bitterness consume me either. I had chosen myself. Later, I checked social media and saw subtle signs of karma in her life. Small disappointments, moments where pride met reality. I didn't gloat. I simply nodded. Life had its way of balancing things. I smiled faintly. I had love, respect, and peace within myself. I didn't need anyone else to define me. And that choice was more powerful than any revenge I could have sought. For the first time, I felt truly free. I saw Lara waiting outside the cafe, sunlight catching her hair. She smiled nervously. Hi, she said softly. Hi, I replied, keeping my tone calm. My heart raced, but I felt steady, different from the man I was months ago. I wanted to see you, she said, fidgeting. I realize now how much I lost, how much I underestimated you. I still love you. I paused, letting her words sink in. You do? I asked quietly. Yes, she admitted. I know I hurt you. I was arrogant, foolish. But I've changed. I see the person you've become, and I can't help how I feel. I looked at her, noticing the vulnerability, the honesty. I've changed too, I said slowly. Stronger. Wiser. I don't let people define my worth anymore. I can see that, she whispered, tears brimming. And I admire it. And you. I took a deep breath. Lara, I care about you. I always did. But I can't go back to being the same me who let you walk over me. If we're to have anything, it must be different. Honest. Equal. She nodded, a small smile forming. I can do that. I want to do that. I promise. No games, no lies. I studied her, feeling the mix of lingering affection and the hard-earned strength I'd gained. I need to be sure, for myself. I need to protect my peace, my growth. Can you respect that? Yes, she said immediately. I respect you. Everything you've become. And I want to be part of that, if you'll let me. I smiled faintly, heart calm but alive. We'll take it slowly, step by step. I won't rush. And I won't forget the past, but maybe with time we can build something better. Her eyes shone, hope and relief intertwined. That's all I could ever ask for. I glanced at the sky, sunlight warming my face. Life has a way of turning things around, doesn't it? She laughed softly. It does. And I think destiny brought me back to you. But this time I want to do it right. You will, I said, voice steady. And so will I. But remember, I'm no longer the man you knew. I'm stronger, wiser, and I won't settle for less than respect and honesty. I understand, she whispered. And I'll prove it every day. I took her hand gently, feeling the connection without losing my independence. Then, let's see where this path takes us. Together but carefully. And this time we do it right. She smiled, a genuine warmth. Yes, together. And as we walked forward, side by side, I felt the weight of the past lift. Strength, love, and self-respect, they finally aligned. Destiny had turned, and for the first time, I was ready for whatever came next.